in 10 countries, and we have employees also representing 10 countries. So as you can tell, there's a little theme going on here. If you look into your gift bag, make sure you grab the note as well. These are gifts from different parts of ZOHO regions, and it's to celebrate transnational localism and also our multicultural teams. So I hope you enjoy them. So I know if you've been here before, you've heard me say this, but I'm sorry, I will say it again because we do not take your time and your support for granted. Not at all. We believe we have to earn it each time. And your feedback matters very, very much to us. So let me just share a few things that we learned from the last survey. I know that some of you wanted more vertical content. We have put that in the agenda this time for the very first time. Some of you wanted more regional leadership, regional strategy discussions, and I'm really happy to say that a lot of our regional leaders are here with us, and there will be a panel tomorrow on that. We made the one-on-one time a little bit longer, and I know one of you somewhere out there commented in the survey last time that you want the survey itself to be shorter. So I'm happy to say that your survey will be much shorter this time, but in all seriousness, your feedback matters very much to us. I know what you didn't ask for in the survey was an extra flight connection to McAllen. So, all kidding aside, thank you. I know that it was a tough ride for some of you and really appreciate you doing so. A few housekeeping items before we get started. So I hope that you've been reading those lovely emails from Steve. Woo! Yes, you should see in there. There is a analyst resource kit. You'll have your one-on-ones in there, and at the end of each day, we will be putting in all the slides. So make sure you check that. If you have any trouble accessing, as any of us in the Blacklanders, we're happy to help you. And in terms of confidentiality, we will have slides that are marked confidential. Sorry, Liz. But yeah, I mean, confidential. Don't take photos and don't share those. And then lastly, the hashtag, as many of you know, is ZOHO Day 24. So I look forward to seeing your comments and tweets.
One time I put 2024.
I know. I said this because of you, Liz. No, just kidding. Yeah, but once again, thank you for being here. Welcome. And it's my pleasure to introduce our CEO, Sridhar Bamboo.
Thank you, Sandy. Thank you. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to McAllen. First time we are meeting here. Hopefully, this will lead to many, many more meetings. I do recognize it's an unusual venue for us to meet. I think last year, many of you came to India, and this one a little bit of note. Actually, this area reminds me of home a lot. You have a very rural flavor if you get out. This region has about the same population as the county I'm from, approximately. So, it's interesting. So, and that population is about the same as the nation of Estonia. I often compare these two, imagine this to be a little nation of its own, Estonia, and then people but me. Yesterday we had the mayor, and the Economic Development Council, all that come in. So that's part of our, each of these regions come into their own. It's part of our mission. That, without further ado, let's start today. So, is it on? Okay. It's a little bit, stand a little bit closer. So the long game, that's what I'm going to talk about today. And it's going to be a little bit of a recursive, discursive presentation. I'll switch back and forth between a couple of topics, but stay with me. There's a story here. So this is a very good quote from Ben Graham. Actually, this is attributed to Warren Buffett usually, but originally I believe I researched it, it came from Ben Graham. his own mentor in Columbia University. So this whole voting machine, weighing machine, about markets. This applies to companies, stocks, sports teams, all of it. What matters is the whole season or multiple season, all of it. So, and with that, I'm just going to first, I'll split it into 3 or 4 sections, but there will be cross references. You will see it. And first, the industry landscape. I'm going to talk about. I'm not going to spell it out. The 2 dominant companies of 2024 are any takers? Tech. Microsoft and Apple. So I didn't spell it out there deliberately. It's there. Maybe it's there. Okay. You still won't get the clicker. So I'll use this. And these were already well known in 1994. It's 30 years. It's actually, most of our employees were not on yet. Our median age is like 25. So which tells you, a lot of these, our employees have not seen a time where Microsoft was a young company. It was a mature giant by the time they grew up. And today, this gives a summary. Apple is prospering, Intel is struggling, and Dell is falling behind. Is that good summary? And Microsoft, you can see with Teams, all that, Slack, Zoom, Tableau, the BI, all of that. When was the last time anybody had a very interesting conversation about Oracle? Sorry, Larry. And then dominating the enterprise cloud with Azure and AI now. So that's where it's heading, right? So these 2 companies in particular play the long game. In fact, I can go on and on. A lot of the technologies that are currently hot for them, they've been investing for 30, 40 years. So it's very long-term investments they've taken with multiple iterations, failures, all of it. These companies do that very well. That's one thing that, if you study them carefully, you realize this. Interestingly, both companies were influenced by the Japanese. Bill Gates had a very strong connection to Japan. And what people don't know is actually the same with Steve Jobs. Both of them had studied Japanese companies a lot. So these 2 are probably the most Japanese of American companies. I'm going to tell you. They play a very long game. I'm going to offer a little bit of context. We play that same long game. And I have been influenced by the Japanese too for nearly 30 years. Same reasons. Same reason. And in fact, I'll give you a couple of examples. ZOHO started after these guys had already won. Still finished. Nobody will fund companies in mail. No venture capitalist has funded an email company in 15 years now. So, but we are doing quite well now. In fact, it's our fastest growing product in 2023. And we also are in financial software from a zero start. If you look at 2012 landscape, we didn't have it. Now we are actually a serious player worldwide. Particularly, you'll see the Middle East. Our people will talk about all this, what we are doing in the Middle East, what we are doing in LATAM, all that. We now have coverage of more country editions than anyone else. So which tells you something. And Work Drive and Office Suite. Nobody would invest in the Office Suite. Already, 2 dominant players who would invest. We are actually doing quite well. Of course, as you all know, this presentation is all on ZOHO Work Drive and ZOHO Show. It's all on that. And now coming back, that's why I said switch back and forth. I'm going to talk about these 2 giants. Disproportionate share of profits, corporate profit, have gone to the top few firms, playing the long game. And this is, you see the names there. And together, these companies are now pulling in close to $500 billion in cash flow. Not really